The image that I came up with as I marveled at my weakness was that I was a rider on the back of an elephant. Hi, this is Emerald and welcome to the Diamond Net, and today I'm going to be giving a book review of Jonathan Haidt's The Happiness Hypothesis. Now, to give you a little bit of background about Jonathan Haidt, he is a social psychologist and he's also a professor of ethical leadership, and his main specialty is focusing on moral emotions and the psychology behind morality. He seeks to make us aware of the physiological, psychological, and social causes for happiness so that the reader can then take that away and start to restructure your life in a way that's more conducive to personal happiness and fulfillment. So in this book, he devotes each chapter to a particular truth. Now, one of the first truths that he goes over is the idea that human beings live as a divided self. So human beings have multiple aspects of themselves going on, and those aspects can sometimes pull in the opposite direction of one another, causing a kind of mental distress. So he likens this to the mind being like the rider atop an elephant. So we have the conscious mind, that's the rider, that's the one who does the steering and makes all of our decisions. But then we have the subconscious mind, which is like the elephant, and that does most of the legwork for us, that does the hard work. However, if this unconscious mind isn't tamed, then the rider isn't going to be able to control the elephant. And that's why so many people end up in kind of a negative spiral where they don't have any conscious control over their lives. And so he says that the key to a happy life is to tame the elephant so that the rider and the elephant move as one. Otherwise, the will of the rider, it does not in any way match the will of the elephant, and so at a test of wills, the elephant will always win. Now, this rider and elephant metaphor is really very effective, and he used it throughout the entire book in relation to these different truths, and it really helped to solidify the ideas that he presented. Also, there's no marshmallow fluff in this book. This book is incredibly well researched. There is, in fact, a 24-page long bibliography at the back where he has like pages and pages and pages full of resources, and it's scattered with scientific studies and also just different scientific information about what's going on in the brain and what's going on in the body when we feel particular emotions. I think the most beneficial thing about this book is that it's very practical. It gives you ways to change your life for the better that are very simple and backed up by science. So I think this book actually cuts through a lot of our social misconceptions about things. Like, for me personally, I always bought into this myth that, oh, you set a big goal and then the big payoff is when you actually achieve that goal. But that's actually not true. The elephant nature in us likes to achieve small goals all the way leading up to the last goal. So even though the conscious rider is focused on the big goal, our whole entire emotional structure, that elephant in us, likes a positive reinforcement all along the way. So let's say if you set up that you were going to work this grueling job, but it was going to pay you a lot of money, and you thought, well, eventually one day I'll be rich, and when I achieve my riches, then I'll be happy. Well, that's a terrible, terrible, awful way to achieve happiness, and that's really what you're after in the first place. Because when you actually get to that point, you adapt to it very quickly. You'll adapt to having money, but then you're having to go through all this grueling work in the meantime. So this is why it's best to choose a field that you're really, really interested in, or to focus on things that you can work toward where you're enjoying the process just as much as you are enjoying the product of having achieved something. Because what happens when you achieve something is you get there, and then you celebrate for an hour, or maybe if it's really good, maybe a day, but then you easily adapt to it, and it's like it's already been done, and you just kind of go back to your regular happiness set point. So I think that somebody who reads this book, even if they just got that one little piece of wisdom from there, if they applied that to their life, it could completely change the trajectory of their life. So I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I highly recommend it, especially if you tend to have a pessimistic nature and you want to find ways to make yourself happier. Like, this is a great book for that, and it's really no marshmallow fluff here. It's all good information. So I give The Happiness Hypothesis 5 elephants out of 5. Also, post me your questions below. Every other Wednesday I do a Q&A segment where I answer questions directly from my subscribers. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, keep becoming more you.